Part 2, GTO Trainer. Nine-handed. Nine-handed. Starting spot pre-flop. Pre-flop action, any. Under the gun, +2, we've got ace-king offsuit raise. Three bet from the cutoff to 3x. We're going to do a 4-bet. Apparently that was the wrong move. They go all in, we'll call. They have ace-king as well, and why was that the wrong move? So we should have shoved. Okay, so... what's it called? They're saying the cutoff should fold 93% of the time of ace-king off in the cutoff. Are you kidding? Huh? And whatever the button had has 3%. Or is that just saying that that's their range, as in they should be folding 93% of their range and raising 7.5% with 7% of the range? Either way, okay, so they 3-bet. Okay, it comes back to us. Okay. So 8% for call. So 8% for call, 92% for just shoving all in when they've just 3-bet. Well, that just makes no sense. Because what would the cutoff be calling an all-in with that's worse than ace-king, realistically? Nothing. They're not going to do it with ace-queen, ace-jack, king-queen. They're not going to be doing any of that. And I guess I could hear the call more than the 4-bet, because I guess the 4-bet we're just kind of isolating real top left type of stuff. If we look over at the information tab, looking at the cutoff, so I reckon if we had a 4-bet there, okay, does it actually show if I go forward here? Yeah, so if we go to the cutoff here, after we've 4-bet, they've pretty much just got aces, ace-king off, and then kings, which we're pretty much in horrific shape against aces. We're about 70-30 underdogs against kings. So I could definitely hear a call, but I definitely can't hear an all-in at all. So that just makes no sense for me for us to ever go all in there. And the call makes a little bit more sense in hindsight, in the fashion that we would be keeping in their range of their hands that we have dominated, such as, like I said before, your ace queens, ace jacks, king queen, probably not king jack, but those type of hands that we are dominating, or hands that we're flipping with that would still be 3-betting, and then we can call, such as, queens down, essentially, that we're flipping with. And then maybe even some 3-bet bluffs in there as well, some suited connectors potentially, because you could, if we go here, we go to the cutoff. Yeah, so you got suited connectors sometimes in here with 5-4, 6-5, 7-6 that are still there with some frequency. Apparently even some suited kings, and then your obvious suited aces as well, and they are even in there with your king queen off, and also king jack, and even king 10 as well. So a call there keeps in a lot of that range that they would be 3-betting with in order to balance their 3-bet range from the cutoff. But so I can definitely hear the call. I just don't really understand it all in there at all, because we're just kind of all in even more so. Would isolate saying, okay, only aces and kings, and then we're only winning 7.5 bigs from ace king, when realistically we can get a lot more from majority of their hands. I'm thinking at least that's where my mind's going from, that we can win a lot more than just 7.5 bigs in that situation. So don't understand it too much of just going the all in. I understand, okay, you probably don't 4-bet there with ace king, just because we are isolating a range that we go pretty shit against. 7-6 in the cutoff offsuit, that's a standard fold. But yeah, Please don't tell me they're going to make us watch through this entire hand. It does appear like we're going to have to watch through the entire hand. Well, that... Okay, hijack, jack 4, standard fold. Queen 4 offsuit in the small blind, standard fold. Jack 8 suited out of the small blind, facing a hijack open. That'll be once again a standard fold. King 9 suited, so we raised pre-flop from the hijack, cut off just behind 3 bets to 7.5 bigs. That'll be a fold. Just up against the cutoffs 3-bet range there. King 9 suited is just pretty much dominated, outkicked on a lot of situations. It's just one of those hands where you're most likely just going to get yourself into a lot of trouble if you try to call there. We'll call the 3-bet. Queen 3 suited, or Queen 3 offsuit rather, standard fold from the small blind. Jack 6 facing in the big blind, facing a small blind open, once again standard fold. Oh, that's a blunder. Okay, so we should be calling there at 100% frequency. Okay. So yeah, we'll try to play the hand from here. So we call that $3. Board comes king, king 4. They take a 1/3 stab, and once again, we're just folding straight out of there. So, look, I understand. Yeah, okay, we need to have some big blind defense there, and yes, we are. I guess in hindsight, yeah, okay, we are playing heads up in position versus small blind. Who does have a decent range of like an opening there potentially. Like if we look at, so yeah, as we can see here on the left, a lot of hands are going to be opening with a very wide range, and then we're pretty much calling with just this. So I guess I understand. Okay, we want to be, if there's a situation to defend our big blind, it's definitely one of those where we're heads up in position against a small blind. But I just don't think Jack 6 is strong enough to really want to be doing that. And then just a standard fold with 10-8 suited there. Not as good as yesterday. 10 hands, 12 moves, 75% GTO score. 10 best moves, 1 wrong move, 1 blunder. The blunder being not defending with the Jack 6. And the wrong move being 4 betting with Ace King off rather than just calling to keep in that weak part of the range that they could be 3 betting lightly with, so that we're not just isolating hands that we are in a terrible situation against, where we're just going to lose a lot of money. Even if we do hit our cards, for example, like if they've got kings and we hit a top pair of king, we're in a bad situation. If they've got aces, we hit a top pair of aces, or we hit a top pair of kings, we're in a bad situation. And those are pretty much the only hands that are going to be calling that 4-bet from under the gun, especially. Under the gun +2, but those are really only going to be the hands that will call that 4-bet. So I definitely understand the call there, and in the situations of just keeping those 3-bet bluffs in there, so that we're not just dominated and isolating a very dominating range. Well, have a good one, guys. Take care, enjoy, and play well.